What's going on, guys? Andrew here, and today we are going to be talking about Bionano Genomics, or BNGO, after they just had an offering announced yesterday for $200 million, or about 33.3 million shares at about $6 a share. So this has been everybody's favorite penny stock recently. It started exploding after it was almost kicked out of the Nasdaq because it was under $1 a share, and now it touched almost $10 a share within about a month. So we're going to be talking about what this means for the company and if you should continue to buy in. Just before we get into it, if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe. We just passed 500 subscribers, so now we're on the road to 1,000. Your support has been amazing, so I'm going to continue to keep putting out videos like this. So if you're unaware of what a stock offering is, it's when a company sells shares of their stock at a certain price, and for BNGO it's going to be $6. Now the reason why this is short-term bearish and why the price is down almost 13% today is because of the share dilution. But in the long term, this is really good for BNGO because it helps them have cash on hand to maybe boosting up their balance sheet or to fund other projects in the future. So neither this article, Reddit, or Twitter has anything to say about when the lockup date ends. So we're going to have to see what happens and when they announce the end of the lockup date, because usually it'll get a little bit of a pump after that, pretty similar to what NEO did. So if you don't know what genomics is, it's basically the mapping, evolution, function, and structure of your genomes. Now, someone who's very high on genomics and the future of genomics and gene editing is going to be Cathie Woods from ARK Invest. Everybody loves her. She's done exceptionally well with all of her ETFs, including the ARKG ETF or the Genomic ETF. Now, this is what she has to say about genomics for the future.
Last year, the number of whole human genomes sequenced around the world was 2.4 million. That was half of all the whole human genomes ever sequenced in history. So we're already at the tipping point, and we believe that number is going to go to 100. So that's almost a 40-fold increase in the next 5 years. So that is truly exponential growth, and it is going to change healthcare decision making. It's bringing real science into healthcare decision making for the first time. So our geneticists, and you're going to have one, so am I, are going to be able to identify for the first time the needle in the haystack. They're going to be able to identify which genes in our genomes have mutated. In other words, they've developed a programming error. And now with CRISPR gene editing, following it up, we're going to be able to correct those programming errors. It's going to be incredible to catch cancer in stage 1 and then edit it away. We think that's going to be possible in the next 5 to 10 years, and probably sooner than that.
So as you guys can see from the clip, Cathie Woods is super bullish on genomics and gene sequencing for the future. And of course, that is reflected really well in her ARKG ETF, which is up over 80% on the year. But BNGO does something a little bit different. They're involved with mapping. Basically, if you think about it like a puzzle piece, if your body and your DNA is a puzzle, BNGO basically can tell you what those pieces are, what size they are, what shape they are, and stuff like that. And Bionano Genomics deals a lot with cytogenetics, which is basically just the study of normal chromosomes and chromosome aberrations. So basically they get a microscopic viewpoint and they look at the number and structure of each chromosome. So you guys probably looked at the thumbnail and was wondering what that machine was. That's Bionano Genomics' machine and product called Saphyr. And what this does is it uses mapping and it allows you to look at your genes, and it can kind of personalize and identify your genes. So what that's super big for is personalized medicine in the future. This is the only machine that can do this, and it's definitely where BNGO has its edge. So Bionano Genomics can use Saphyr in collaboration with other genomics companies such as CRISPR, and they can use that to enhance their gene editing abilities and to be able to find out which genes need to be edited. Now, Cathie currently doesn't have any investments in BNGO and is mainly invested in the rival PACB. But I think with the recent cash that they have been acquiring from the stock offerings, Bionano Genomics is more likely to be acquired into these ETFs like ARKG or just acquired by Cathie Woods in general. Now, personally, that's just a hypothesis, but I think it is definitely possible with how bullish Cathie Woods and ARK Invest is on genomics in the future. Now, like I told you guys earlier, it was almost going to get kicked out of the Nasdaq for being under $1, but Bionano Genomics has got a bunch of hype recently due to stock tweets, Discords, YouTube, Twitter, stuff like that. So it got a lot of hype here, as you can see, the huge volume. They've announced an offering before, and it didn't really affect the price too much. Of course, this is very volatile range since it's such a small stock. But as you can see, there isn't much selling volume today with the stock offering being announced. So people don't want to get rid of the stock. They do want to hold, which is pretty interesting because usually with these volatile stocks, you see a huge sell-off, especially with an offering and the dilution of shares. But the 7.5 level has been acting as really good support here, and I could definitely see a continuation as soon as we know when the offering is going to be closed. So personally, since I don't know when the offering ends, I'm going to sit this one out and wait until we find a confirmed date. Then it could be definitely really good for the future and also just for day trading purposes because of how volatile it is. But it does look like it's going to have a very good future with the genomics revolution that we're seeing here. Now, after doing research for this video and for Bionano Genomics, I've really started to like the industry more and more, and I actually do want to get my hands into some genomic stocks. So I'm thinking of doing a video on genomics, maybe a video on ARKG. We're going to have to see. If you guys want that, make sure to comment that down below. But I really do think that there's going to be a big break with genomics in the future. And of course, ARK Invest and Cathie Woods think so as well. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. Of course, I'm going to be posting probably 2 to 3 times a week, making sure that you guys are getting the news updates, the hottest stocks, and of course, the best investment ideas. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.